Greetings, YouTube! The Doctor is in. Dr. Urias Papers here, coming at you with another commentary on Dungeons and Dragons. And welcome back to the channel that brings power gaming to the next level. And today on the Doctor Spell Prognosis, we are talking about the spell True Polymorph. It is a 9th level spell that is usable by bards, warlocks, and wizards. We are giving this spell a solid S. It is a great spell. It's actually a little bit better than Shape Change. But first, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you have any questions or comments, please leave a question or comment. And don't forget to hit that notification bell so you know when I have another video out. All right. True Polymorph, 9th level spell, takes 1 action, has a range of 30 feet, which we don't really care about. I mean, unless you're going to cast this in combat, but there are reasons not to cast this in combat. There are reasons to cast this in downtime and reasons to cast this near combat. It is verbal, somatic, and material component, and the material component does not have a cost, so we don't care. Duration of 1 hour with concentration, and there's an asterisk next to that. So it says, choose one creature or non-magical object that you can see within range. You transform the creature into a different creature, the creature into a non-magical object, or the object into a creature. The object must be neither worn nor carried by another creature. The spell lasts for the duration or until the target drops to 0 hit points or dies. If you concentrate on this spell for the duration, the spell lasts until it is dispelled. Now, that's different than permanent. It's until dispelled. So you can transform a creature into another creature, a creature into an object, or an object into a creature. And a dispel magic, if successful, will knock it out. So just keep that in mind. Spell has no effect on shape changers or a creature with 0 hit points. So if they're dying or they're done, it doesn't do anything. An unwilling creature can make a wisdom saving throw, and if it succeeds, it is not affected by the spell. But there are ways to get around that, and your wisdom saving throw should be pretty sky high at this point if you are a bard, wizard, or warlock. So, changing creature into creature is very similar to all the other polymorph. We'll kind of compare and contrast those as well, and shape change. If you turn a creature into another creature, another kind of creature, the new form can be any kind you choose whose challenge rating is equal to or less than the target's, or its level if the target doesn't have a challenge rating. You will be casting this spell at 17th level, so that means that it's challenge rating 17 or less. There you go. The target's game statistics, including mental ability scores, are replaced by the statistics of the new form. It retains its alignment and personality. Okay? So that leaves everything wide open. So the next paragraph is kind of standard for a lot of these. The target assumes the hit points in the new form, and when it reverts to the normal form, the creature returns to the number of hit points it had before it transformed. So you're better off using this spell when something has full hit points. If it reverts as a result of dropping to 0, any excess damage carries over. That's standard. As long as the excess damage doesn't reduce the creature's normal form to 0 hit points, it's knocked unconscious. So it is not knocked unconscious. The creature is limited in actions it can perform by the nature of the new form, and it cannot speak, cast spells, or take any other action that requires hands or speech unless its new form is capable of such actions. That's standard as well for a lot of polymorph type spells. The target's gear melds in a new form. That's also kind of standard. The creature cannot activate, use, wield, or otherwise benefit from any of its equipment, unless you give it equipment and it can utilize that equipment afterwards. Okay, object into a creature. This is where we start to get new. You can turn an object into any creature as long as the creature's size is no larger than the object's size. So if you want to turn an object into a huge creature, then you need to have a huge object. And the creature's challenge rating is 9 or lower, so you can't take a huge block of stone and transform it into a challenge rating 14 creature. It has to be 9 or lower. Creature is friendly to you and your companions. It acts on each of your turns. You decide what action it takes and how it moves, and then the GM has the creature's statistics and resolves all of its actions and movements. If the spell becomes permanent, You no longer control the creature. It might remain friendly to you depending on how you have treated it. But we're going to talk about that particular one. If you turn a creature into an object, it transforms as long as whatever it is wearing and carrying in that form, as long as the object size is no larger than the creature size. So a medium creature can be turned into a medium rock. If you turn a creature into an object, it transforms along with whatever it is wearing and carrying in that form, as long as the object size is no larger than the creature size. So you can't turn a medium into a large, but you can turn a medium into a tiny. So that's like toads and things. But you can turn a medium creature into like a gem. Okay? The creature statistics become those of the object, and the creature has no memory of the time it spent in this form after the spell ends and returns to its normal form. So that's a pretty cool thing. You can just go, you, bad guy, are going to fail your save because I happen to be a divination wizard, and because I'm giving you the 3 that I just rolled, and now you're a little tiny rock. And I'm going to concentrate on this for an hour, and you're going to be stuck in this form. Okay, let's talk about pros and cons. Pro, 1 action. Pro, no cost to this spell. It says material component, but it's a worthless one, so there's no cost. You can basically transform creatures into any other creature. You know, it's not limited to beasts or anything like some of the other spells. It can become, I'm going to call it semi-permanent. It's not really permanent because it is until dispelled. So if I change a rock, a big boulder, into a young dragon of some kind, because there are dragons that are challenge rating 9, then and I concentrate on it for an hour, then it will remain in that form until somebody hits it with a successful dispel magic, and then it goes back to the boulder. You can turn creatures into objects, so we talked about turning a creature into a rock. You can turn objects into a creature, and we're going to talk about how to make those into pets. And this spell does not have any language in it that says you cannot use legendary actions. Now, I bring that up because Shape Change says that you cannot use legendary actions or layer actions. Now, to use a layer action, you have to be in the layer of the creature. So that is probably a no-go. You'll have to talk to your DM about that. But True Polymorph does not say that you can't use layer actions if you transform a creature into something into a legendary creature. Okay? There are legendary creatures that are challenge rating 9 and less. So keep that in mind. Okay, so I'm going to pull out 2 creatures that are challenge rating 9 or less that you could turn objects into. Ceratops from the Big Bees Presents. It's not a Triceratops, but it's a Ceratops. So it is a monstrosity dinosaur, and it's unaligned. It's got 139 hit points. It is challenge rating 9, and it has magic resistance, and it does quite a bit of damage. This is a pretty cool thing. You control it for an hour. Not too shabby. Tyrannosaurus Rex is a huge beast. Now, this has a meaning because it is a beast. 136 hit points. It's challenge rating 8. Great attacks. Lots of damage. Plus 10 to hit. That's really good. The Ceratops has plus 11 to hit. That's really good. So these are 2 pretty good creatures. Okay. These are the other polymorph spells that are present. We've already got True Polymorph here. There's Polymorph, which is for beasts, and Mass Polymorph, which also is for beasts. Each target assumes beast form. And then we talked about Shape Change already. This is you. This is a self spell, and you can't use legendary actions with it. Now, how do we go about creating a pet T-Rex? So the first thing I do want to talk about is here's all your dragons that are challenge rating 9 or less. Young Amethyst Dragon, Young Blue Dragon, Young Sapphire Dragon, Young Silver, Young Solar. So, for instance, these Amethyst Dragons do have some spells, and they have this breath weapon that does an 8d8 damage. The Young Blue Dragon does not have spells, but it has a 10d10 breath weapon. The young silver dragon has a 12d8, and it has a paralyzing breath. The sapphire dragon has a 60-10 thunder, and it has some spells. So, and those dragons should be able to cast those spells. So that is something to think about. Now, and then here are, if you're thinking about transforming your party into some creatures, I sorted out creatures from challenge rating 14 to 17. There's a whole bunch of adult dragons in here that you can do. Adult red dragon is a challenge rating 17. It does have legendary actions. It is going to do 18d6 fire breath damage. It's got a frightful presence, all that, blind sight. So there are a lot of different things that you could transform your party members into, because they are essentially going to be 17th level or higher, depending on what you're doing. Okay, Tyrannosaurus Rex. So we transform a huge rock. And the reason that we're doing huge and not gargantuan is because one of these spells that we're going to use is limited to huge. You transform a huge boulder into a Tyrannosaurus Rex using True Polymorph, because to turn an object into a creature, as long as the creature size is no larger than the object size. So here's a boulder. Now it's a Tyrannosaurus Rex. It's challenge rating 8, so we met that. It's friendly to us. Then you get your druid buddy, who should, around this level, hopefully have a Staff of the Woodlands, and you have him cast Animal Friendship, which lasts for 24 hours. Because the next spell we're going to cast is Awaken, which lasts for 8, which takes 8 hours to cast. So you want this creature under basically friendly to you for at least 8 hours. So you use your 9th level spell, you make the boulder into a Tyrannosaurus Rex, you hit it with Animal Friendship from your staff, which is no cost to you. That's 1 charge. Staff has 10. And you hit it with that, and it's a wisdom saving throw. It's charmed for 24 hours. It has to have an intelligence of 4 or less. So our Tyrannosaurus Rex has an intelligence of 2. That's great. So 4 or less, yes, check. And so it is essentially friendly to you and charmed by you. And then we hit it with Awaken, which takes 8 hours. So we just kind of sit with it, and we hit it with the Awaken. The target, touch a huge or smaller beast. So this is why we're picking huge. And then it has to have an intelligence score of 3 or less, which it does. And then it gains an intelligence. And the awakened beast is charmed by us for 30 days. And when the charm condition ends, the awakened creature chooses whether to remain friendly to you based on how you treated it while it was charmed. Essentially, you could do all this once a day for how many ever days you need to have a Tyrannosaurus Rex pet/mount for everybody in the party. And there you go. All right, that is what I got for everybody today. I appreciate everybody tuning in, and I will catch everybody later.